endorse that. Make sure you sign that. I'd like to welcome everybody here to the Planning Board Commission. This is a public hearing. I'd like to point out is, since it is a public hearing, I want to tell everybody that the last meeting we had new elections. I've been elected the president of this board, and Pam Van Hook is my secretary. So, also I'd like to point out that the last meeting we had a couple of issues on the plot there. They were there's a manhole question and a drainage line was a question. I think it's lot 14 or 13 and 15. 13, yeah. And I see, is this the new one?
Yeah, that is the new one.
Okay. I see that the manhole had just been moved.
Yeah, manhole, yeah.
Okay. I still have a question about the drainage line on 13.
Yeah.
Judging from that right there, are you still planning on doing construction on that?
No. If you look at the lot number, this all is lot 13 now. So you can build this right here was buildable. We just eliminated that lot because the lot line used to run right through here. We just made lot 13 one large lot, and this is buildable. Okay. The lot line just used to run right here, where this was a buildable lot.
And this was a problem.
Yeah, this was still buildable.
Yeah.
So we just made that one massive.
That's fine. That's fine.
So which ones did they combine?
Yeah, 13 and 14 are combined, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. So, does anybody on the board have any questions about this new design? Okay, we're here tonight to also vote on the application for variance and change of zoning. So, first of all, I guess we better read the look at the minutes from last week. Do I hear somebody approve this meeting?
If everybody's had a chance to read them, I'll move we approve the minutes from last meeting.
I'll second.
Can I get a motion to accept the meeting minutes?
I'll second.
I moved, he seconded.
Alan seconded, so
Okay. All been approved.
all in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
We can discuss the application for the variance. Sidewalks, lack of there.
Right.
Dusted lawn lights versus street lights. Zoning variance for property parallel State Road 19. Reviewed Article 2.2. Notification procedures. Design plan reviewed regarding issues with manholes, existing utilities, and discussion when we can expect to visit the bond issue. So, do you have any questions about any of these issues?
The lighting. I don't know if it's the town's responsibilities or the owners, but the lighting at the streets, like the drives, is very dark there at night. You're gonna have a lot of families with kids, and I think there should be lighting. Yes, I want the lighting for the housing, dusted on lighting, but I think there needs to be some street lights at the entrances.
That lights, that corner's so close to Dollar General that
It's hard to see.
right.
Any other comments in regards to lighting? Obviously, this is a public hearing, and this is the purpose of the hearing, to discuss any concerns or issues any of you may have with this moving forward. Obviously, this is the fourth section that's been developed out of Northwind Estates. And I know on the original plat, the sidewalks were removed out of the original plan. That developer at the time asked for that to be removed, and also I believe streetlights were asked to be taken out for the project, and at that time, they voted to do that, so.
I believe part of that was they would not require that based on the fact that each house would have to have a lighted post in their front yard that remained lit from dusk to dawn.
Correct. If I understand the history, I wasn't a part of that, but if I understand it correctly, that's, how that it was.
What I understand is they required that homeowners had dusted homes. They would not have to put up streetlights.
Right.
And, I'm sorry, there's a lot of places going bigger. Even a sparse streetlight does help a whole bunch. Just the neighborhood and safety of the neighborhoods. Dust dawn lights for me to require to be living in more places. I have them anyway, but I just don't think it's. I think you should have a streetlight somewhere along one, somewhere through.
Now, is that a town expense or is that a homeowner association expense? Do you know? Do you guys have an active homeowner association out there? You live next door, okay. This, you guys do not have an active homeowner association?
But just because
Right.
they took them out the last time doesn't make it right to continue to grow that area and not make things right. I guess is kind of my point.
That is mine too.
Especially since there's speed through there anyways, trying to get to the Dollar General and things like that.
Because when all that was started, the Dollar General wasn't there either, so. You got a lot of traffic through there and a lot of pedestrians walking through at dark.
That's the thing, if you're not gonna have sidewalks for the kids to walk on, and you expect them to walk in the street, then we ought to at least be able to see them. And street lights on corners would definitely make a difference.
Sure. It's a safety and security measure, plus the fact we have a lot of young people that's moved into town, kids, growing up.
Well, I have a question, why weren't there sidewalks put in? I think every subdivision should have sidewalks, there's no place to go walking, we don't live there, but, I mean,
I can't say for sure, but I think at the time it was just a cost factor with the developer that was, small and he was building 2 or 3 homes at a time and they just, the planning commission at the time granted them,
New developer. And they went and we had to readjust and what they needed to do. Same thing with little guy had, he's a bigger builder.
It's been very common to not have sidewalks in this day and age because of, number one, everybody knows that after a few years, they require a lot of maintenance. And number two, it takes up yard space. And number three, nobody uses them. The kids, they don't ride their bikes on them and so forth. So it's, if you look throughout history, throughout all of Indiana, there's a lot of places, except for inside a large subdivision, they have their own. But that's not what we got here.
I'm just wondering.
Same way in town, there's a lot of places that don't have sidewalks, and it's been here 200 years.
I'm concerned about, I live on Allison Drive, and there are a lot of kids that walk in the street, and I think it's just a matter of time before there's some type of a problem.
Well, unfortunately, we have that problem all the time, It's hard to keep kids out of the street. And, whether there's sidewalks or not, I mean, I understand the problem. So it's clear in my mind, how many of these are for putting in sidewalks? How many of them really don't care one way or another?
well, I think the fact, and we had this discussion in a prior
Right, we're gonna have
meeting.
Huh? Keep in mind that what Danny and them are applying for, it's not gonna be on any of the
development that's already there. You know, he's not gonna put streetlights on Hopkins Drive, he's not gonna put them on Michael, he's not gonna put them on Allison. Talking about the single loop around the pond. So
basically have a,
these sidewalks, these streetlights that he's addressing are only gonna be on that single loop around the pond.
I can't.
The rest of it is not Dan's issue.
Okay, did you hear what he said?
No, I've been honest, he's behind the wall.
Okay, go ahead.
No, what I was telling the plan commission to keep in mind was that what they are addressing in their subdivision or their section of phase 4 is only gonna be that loop around the pond. It's not gonna be anything that's already been built. You know, so it's only gonna be that road around the pond. So the part of the subdivision that's already been developed is what it is.
right, this developer's not gonna come in and put streetlights all over the addition.
Right.
If he's required to put streetlights in, it would probably, I could see no more than probably 2 or 3 at the most, just in that section. That would be the only lit. As far as putting streetlights in the rest of the addition, I believe that's something the town board would have to address, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be up to this commission to deal with that.
What is the developer want to do? What is he proposing to do for lighting? Does the developer want to put lights in and sidewalks, or does he just not care?
On a new addition, and consider now, what we have now, they will not. That'll be to the town board.
They have asked
That's what
for,
I'm saying.
they have asked for a variance,
To get by with everything
with,
they did
to
before.
omit sidewalks and omit streetlights to match the rest of the development. That's the variance they requested.
Do we have a plan to look at?
Yes, we do, right up here on the table. You're more than welcome to come up and look at that. You can see right here.
So what the variance is for is just around the pond?
Yes, come on up, anybody that has any questions. To kind of give you a reference point, the Dollar General sits right here. Okay, this is the Dollar General.
Round this up.
If you're familiar with Dollar General out there, you know where park over here outside the parking lot, and that road stops right there. The proposed plan is for that road to come behind Dollar General. Here is actually State Road 19
Oh, you're not.
is right here. Okay,
Oh, you're not.
that road
We're
will
not.
run parallel to State Road 19.
The development.
It will come down
So
to the
where is
end.
it?
There's
Am I
a
gonna be able
home,
to see
I
it?
believe,
Are we gonna
sitting
be able to
right
see it
here.
from my property?
Existing home.
You're over there
Mr.
where it says
Stone
like
we're
estates
on
and
that.
sanitary
It's right
plans.
here.
Oh, we're
And
on
that
that.
road would curve and go back north.
Yeah, Dollar General's over here.
I believe Allison Drive
We're on
right
the other
here. Sure, it's what you live. I believe one of these here. But anyway, that road will connect to this road right here. So you'll come in off of 296, and then you'll be able to just come straight.
And they're not gonna have another entrance to that section?
There'll actually be two entrances. Here at the Dollar
Yeah,
General.
but nothing
No,
off of 19
no,
or
no.
John Street.
No,
So allow this to be built then, or is it just a few of them that are being built?
well, I think the developer.
Well, the goal's to build all of them,
To build
but I
all
mean,
of
there isn't any plans for anything yet. But I mean, the plan is to develop all of them. And we don't have a builder yet lined up yet. Dan Ely's, what they say was the developer, but we don't have any builders yet. We're still on hold. We gotta get through this before we talk about that. Used to be
Sure are
two.
busy. You're the town board and you're on this.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is a
okay.
lot here.
Four drains
Yeah.
down the street. They're in the corner.
Which town?
Down John, it's about that. Yeah.
The blue house or
There's
the,
two blue houses there, the smaller of the two.
the one that's
Well,
got that yellow
the
door?
pond is
Red door,
located-
Oh, the
yeah,
red
with the
door.
red trim, yeah.
Yeah, the
Right
senior
here.
grandchildren live there. Okay, okay. I don't know where,
I don't
I'm
know
still
which
trying
one
to
would be
figure out where everybody
this-
is.
You got
It's not
it.
available for them.
This right here would be a better reflection. The pond is right here. Okay. And again, this is almost word for word to what the one that was approved before. We didn't change anything other than what would need to be changed for building, which would be including that sewer drain. And there's an easement. They went ahead and put an easement around that pipe so that it wouldn't be buildable. And then that'd be the building lot there. So that line right there used to separate the two lots, and then that one wasn't buildable. That's the only difference. And the reason for the sidewalks and the lights was the sidewalks won't connect to anything. They'll just be randomly in the yard. I mean, and they're not going to be able to connect, and there's nothing to connect them to. That's why we kept those variances. And there'd be nothing to connect them to. We didn't really want to change anything. There wasn't any malicious intent or anything. We just to keep the continuity of the previous building addition. We just kept the same file for the same variance.
However, I think most of us understand that. However, at this time, even though this has been developed recently, most recently, and this is going to be brand new, it would be, at the minimum, it would be good to get lights at the Dollar General entrance at least, and then maybe down in the, I don't know how many it'll take.
On that corner,
You said
on
Dollar
that corner, and then right here.
Mhm.
So we're right here then.
1, 2, 3 lights. Is that
Typically, I don't know how many it would take.
Kind of, I don't, kind of.
I think
I'm not a.
the most would 3 would be what I would think, but
That would at least help.
I think one towards the entrance and down here at our corner, or I don't know. I mean, how much does a street light give off? How
Sometimes right in your yard. Dollar General has lights until 10:45, very well lit until 10:45.
As an aside, there's no light for the entrance of Allison. The nighttime, there's no light there. So that really needs a light, in my opinion, because when you're driving at night, it's not lit up. So
And you
you
can't find
really can't see the entrance that well onto Allison Drive.
That's
So,
probably on the-
and also, as my brother was saying, Dollar General has real bright lights now, and they stay on until 10:45 or 11, and it's lit up in the back, it's lit up on the side, and it's lit up in the front, and then the side that faces 19, and they're real bright lights. So it's probably better than a street light, actually, right there. But I don't know if it's bright enough enough to eliminate this.
The Dollar General is staying, they're not moving.
Not to my knowledge.
I don't
We had heard they were.
we can't require this developer to put lights on something that's already been developed.
Right.
And
Yeah, but
will
it's
this
still
road
gonna
be
be
good
called
enough
North
for
Wind,
2
it's still
lanes?
part of North Wind Estates, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's gonna be the same thing, so what's it gonna cost to put a dusk to dawn light on the pole that's right there? Your sign for the project or for the addition is right there.
yeah, there's already a pole there, all he needs a light. Whether the town pays for it or the developer.
Well, and then there's a monthly charge too for lights, so.
But
I know we pay, I can't tell you, our clerk's not here right now, but for every street light that's in the town of Atlanta, there's a fee.
But I guess all of our argument is, we understand his position, but understand just because you add something to something that was already there,
Uh-huh.
the things that were ruled on before didn't make it right.
Okay.
So I guess we're just trying to correct a wrong by having a light at 19 on Allison Drive.
And how big of a fee is that?
I'm not sure. I'd have
I
to check.
mean, is it worth a life?
Yeah, it
A
is.
child's kid?
It is. It sure is. I mean,
But I think that's
we can't argue.
that's a town board.
That is. That's a council.
But it's still the
decision.
same addition.
It is. It
I mean,
is.
that's my point. It's the same addition.
And that's concessions we take, if we talk to them about, you get, if they're willing to put in, if to give them concessions on this and that they want, will they give us something? And a simple light is not that difficult, often existing.
If we give
Correct?
up sidewalks for 3 lights or 4 lights,
It's paid through out of our general fund here in town.
I think it's safety for the kids, there'll be a lot of small
And it'd be the
children
same,
over there.
you know,
Or
in the subdivision.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Oh, okay, okay.
Fairbanks,
Okay,
yeah.
I mean, but-
Well, if we can't
Yeah,
get the developer to
families moving through
piggyback
subdivisions,
a
they have
light
small
on this
children.
plan,
We need to
then of
keep
course
it safe.
Yeah, the neighbors behind
continue
us,
on
they
with
just had
town
a kid,
and
neighbors
try
next
to
to
get
us just
some,
had a kid. There's a lot of young.
He was,
I guess.
here.
I mean, I understand that concern.
Right behind.
That's a legitimate
Oh, yeah.
concern.
We
I
saw
can
it as
argue
an
that.
opportunity to maybe fix it all right, the right way at one time, but I do understand. Are they gonna stay with, must have a yard light in that?
Yeah, all the previous covenants and restrictions will carry over for that were agreed upon in the other ones. Now, with no homeowners association, then you don't have anybody to enforce it. So I mean, that is the requirement though. I mean, that's the standing requirement for all the houses. Any house out there that doesn't have one now is in violation. And those floodlights that putting out front, I mean, they put off good light. But anybody who doesn't have those already is in violation. That's why I understand the foregoing of the homeowners association. I mean, nobody likes to deal with them, but that's why they're there, to enforce all those things. And that same thing would carry over regardless of whether the street lights go in or not. That's already in the covenants and restrictions. You can't change that. So I mean, they would have to have those same as the other lots that have already been developed.
And these houses will be built by Arbor?
We don't know that yet. We can't talk to developers till we find out if we got permits to develop it. We don't have a builder lined up yet.
And they'll all be private homes, there won't be
Yeah.
any businesses.
No. And that's part of why we're trying to get the change from commercial, because originally I can't remember which lot numbers were zoned commercial. We didn't want those to be zoned commercial. We wanted to be residential, so you don't have any more businesses going in along there.
What happens with who pays for the sewage and the utilities? Does the developer,
Developer, yes. Yes.
So that wouldn't be assessed to the townspeople then.
Actually, that infrastructure is already in.
Really?
It's existing. Mr. Hopkins, the former developer, was looking ahead to that, and that print that you see there, the wastewater sanitary sewer is in. Now the drinking water is not. So part of it is, yeah,
It did, they just got about
30%. Okay.
Well, that's the reason that flood up.
Will it increase the cost of water then? Because we already have really high water.
Should not. If anything, it should help us due to the added revenue.
Yeah.
Each one of those homes will represent a utility customer, water and sewer, so that should help our utility.
Will that make the utility bills go down?
Fall down a little bit, the more people you have. Just the way
We don't know that.
You know how.
Yeah, but
Hoping.
it should.
Don't count on that.
That's tough. Like
Here's my biggest question with you. As a developer, I'm on that. Which side of line?
We're down at that end, on John Street.
I'm having a big flooding problem
Okay.
in my yard because of this development. When you do this, now you're adding houses down next to the field. You know, how it all into the pond and blow it off the rest of the sea. It'll be that drainage somewhere down this back line. Yes. Back to the pond when you do it. Cause now I'm flooded out.
We're flooding out and we're losing our trees in our
My
backyards.
cedars are dying because they're coming back and we're flooded out now.
So this drain isn't draining off to the pond
It's
then?
not draining off the pond. I don't think there's one in there. If you're building over here, are you gonna be?
No, the lot that would be buildable is right here. There's a drainage that runs, the storm drain comes out here and feeds the pond that way. Now, there might be, I'm just not familiar enough with the ground, with what the grade would be on which way the water's running or what.
I don't know who's Andy Emmert.
Andy's our utility superintendent.
Oh.
Andy?
Andy,
Oh, you're, okay.
we have some,
Yeah.
utility questions.
Yeah, I had the surveyors come out, look at our yard. You guys came out, and he told me to talk to you.
Andy Conover?
That could have been, I can't remember the
Tall
guy
guy,
called
older
me.
guy?
I didn't see him,
Oh.
they just came and looked at our yard. And
then
'cause I
Andy.
thought maybe there had been a collapsed drain or something, that's why our yard was flooding. But he told me to talk to you, so, and I didn't know who you were till now, I'm Kelly DeFoe. Nice meeting you. And that's my husband Daryl. Okay, so we live at 110 South John, around the corner, and our yard is flooded when it rains heavy. And we were told by neighbors that it didn't used to flood until the subdivision went in,
That's really not true.
is what we
When
were
they put the
told.
pond in, it took the water away.
So, I
Because
mean,
there was a,
we've only been here
I
a
mean,
year. so-
right, I mean, I can show you some pictures where there was water over that way that was,
No, everything that we're planning to
Yeah, and
develop
our,
is represented right here. It's
so
literally
far,
just those lots and these ones right here.
we don't face, our crawl space is dry and I'm hoping it stays that way. So I didn't know how is this gonna affect us.
Yes.
It's not gonna make it worse.
like, where does Dollar, I mean, there's a whole 4 or 5 acre property between you and where these are gonna be built. I mean, you got that
4 or
Alvarez.
5 acre property.
No,
When you
How do you figure?
no, it'd just be those,
Let me show you on the
the
map.
20, I think it's
Yeah,
22. or
His is
23.
only
No,
We
20
lost
feet
one when we
across.
changed
No.
this. Yeah,
That means it's
that's-
gonna be
that's
about
it.
against the front, the dollar store's gonna be walking.
It'd be, what was that, 7? Yeah, 7, those 7 lots right there. And those were the, commercial. that were-
Originally, in the original plat, I know you guys, whether this means anything or not, originally it was residential. When, they wanted Dollar General to come to town, they had to change those commercial. So at that time, these all reverted commercial. And now,
Actually, our neighbor's house.
Ace Paving,
Right there,
is,
like
the
286
developer,
on 19.
has asked that these all go back to residential.
Luckily, we have a fence,
Uh,
but people.
Obviously, to
Oh,
develop
so,
that
yeah.
for homes.
So I was
So
wondering
this
if
is the
that
road
was
that
over
comes
there.
in off the dollar store and it'll go around, connect up to that,
Yeah,
where dead
We
ends at
discovered
now.
that.
Yeah,
That was
right,
like
yeah.
3 months.
Would there be any kind of fencing along through here? No.
Haven't called for any.
What about,
We have no storm
the
drainage.
drainage around here, is it drainage in place?
Yeah, there's, that retention pond,
Yeah.
water typically all flows to here and then out and goes north to Tipton County.
Is this it right there?
You know,
I just wonder,
So how do you like to
is
get a job?
because water in this area the same?
let's see if we can find a sheet. Let's see if we can find a sheet that will show the specific utilities. I'll look for that, if you bear with me here a second. Sanitary sewer plan. We're looking for a storm sewer.
There we go.
Okay. So if you'll notice right here,
Lots drained in the street.
this indicates an open basin. Okay, this is a storm drain. It's not sanitary, so it's open. That's runoff water. It's going to run. I know the concern over here on John Street. You know, obviously there's homes here. That runs there. Then you have 2 more catch basins over here, parallel to 19 to run in. it looks like over here along the road, those are existing. If you were to drive, we were to drive out there right now, we should see these.
Yeah, the,
Yeah,
the
in the,
area
along the
north,
curves.
there, south of 296th
Allison
Street,
Drive.
is it in the
And then
plans
these
to be developed
empty into
some
this
That's
pond?
owned by somebody else.
Well, and that
Okay.
sewage is
So I don't know.
already there, right?
That
I
is
mean,
owned by
they're
somebody
just
else.
gonna
That's
put the road up
correct.
on top of it.
That's
'Cause
correct.
I know the manhole covers and
Yeah.
stuff are out there.
Yeah, the sanitary sewer is already in place. That is, sanitary sewer, you can see here
This
is,
doesn't even great.
right here, that's for the sanitary. Now, as Andy said, and I'm not sure on the water, he said about 30% of it is already installed, and I am not aware of where that starts and stops. Obviously, it comes from town and it goes out, but I'm not, that's the gentleman that's developing, his name's Dan Ely. Dan Ely lives in Westfield, Indiana.
So is a big developer.
He's what?
Is he a big developer?
No, he is not. He is not a big developer. Basically, what he's trying to do is
Put the road in so they can.
yeah, put all the infrastructure in, roads, utilities, and then
Lots off to the builder.
yep, sell lots off to the builder. Exactly. That's exactly what I believe his plan is. He's not a builder. That's
Okay, I didn't know who he
yeah. I know Arbor Homes built what the last 6 homes out there, I believe, 6 or 7. And you live in one of those?
I was in
This one right here. Okay.
So this is that's new, this is new,
Sure. Okay.
Personally, I look less at that. I like to see the stars, and this section of the stars get lighter and lighter. When I was inside, came out of the center, there goes some of the stars, and then it disappears. It's been, it's probably not safe and practical. It's just something that
You're welcome. Thank you.
We'll watch it. Like I say, it's on the side of the rock. But then,
There wasn't housing back there when I was. The other was there was a field and there was back then a farmhouse and barn and everything. So, I mean, I'm
Specific utilities. There's the water distribution.
I don't know how far off the top of my head.
Obviously, fire hydrants in place.
You know, I'm like, off the record. Just for a second.
We're good, we have enough.
Always have, so I think.
Well, here comes the property right now, various people, and kids, and everything
There's a low place.
gets more dangerous. That happening in a concentrated area, that's the reason for the lights. There's a sidewalk there.
Bury yourself too quick.
Nobody wants it, they're pain in the ass.
I don't know. Oh, they have questions about the street signs.
That's why they don't use it, their bikes right through the street.
Well,
Their lights are sports.
yeah, this is part of the
And you're right, our lights it's nice. You can tell a home that's got one.
Oh, yeah, there's
pretty dark.
out there, right?
Sure, it's not this meeting, that's a town council meeting.
And some of those people like competition come through there, and that's what
But not at this
Well,
point.
it's here in some spots. And most of these homes are gonna be pretty much facing each other. So I don't know.
Well, if you can't get the builder to do it, I gotta tell you.
Well,
It sure should be out there. This is, when Dollar General.
I know some
Sometimes dark out there.
that are
It gets
like,
pretty
Right.
that they're-
And that is such an odd intersection. That the way, yeah, it's.
Yeah, those are yours. Those are
Yeah,
yours.
really, with that double, I call it a double entrance. The Dollar Store's turning here, and then here's the road that,
Right.
you know, the parking lot's right here.
Yeah,
So you're pulling off of here, and you're coming up here and pulling off of there.
right. Yeah, that's a
That is
very,
tricky. That's tricky.
that is tricky. Matter of fact, who was there first? I was gonna say, that would be hard to get a street department to do this. Anyway.
You have to get, you know, obviously a road cut from the state.
Right.
and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah. But you can see that. I think right now that stops right there. That's where I park there sometimes. When I
Yeah,
go
I
out
do.
to, you know,
Yeah.
get into the store, so that parking lot's,
that's where the street will take off.
yeah. Take off.
Yeah, I do. They don't have no choice.
You back at it, Joe? You back at it?
So, what's the board's decision concerning street lights?
Do you have your receipt where you sent the certified mail? I believe we'll send, well, those will go with the file, is that correct?
Do you want them or?
You want them to go with the file, or who's the
Yep,
secretary?
I'll take it.
Pam will take those. Have a record.
Drum roll. These are all the ones I got without a. All right, thank you.
Okay, we discussed the, dawn to dusk to dawn versus streetlights. We discussed the lack thereof of sidewalks. I suppose we ought to talk about we gotta get a zoning variance and get that,
But that goes before the BZA, doesn't it?
do they do that?
I believe so.
Now, I think we've
already.
I think we
made a
approved
decision
that,
on
didn't we?
Oh,
Based- that's all we
Right.
did.
All right, sorry.
So as far as we're concerned, it is
It's
zoned. for
granted, it
residents.
is granted.
Okay. What about the bond issue? Is that something we need to talk about?
Yeah, I think we can, do you know a cost on the project? Any idea?
Up until this point, nothing is determined as far as
Okay.
like after the roads go in.
Right.
As far as what that plan is, there's a couple different options, but until the permitted options come through, we can't.
Right, well, I think we definitely need a bond posted. I think 100,000 bond would be sufficient. I think you could probably get one of those for $400 or $500, I imagine. I don't think they're that expensive. I think it's something that the town should do just to CYA. And if you guys decide you think it needs to be more than that, that's up to. But I believe the last development, I believe it was 100,000, not sure. Have you filed any type of covenants? Are you intending on filing the covenants that is currently existing and file it as the same, record it with the
To be
recorder.
cohesive.
You're just gonna you'll probably change the name. Cause the old covenants, I believe, probably has all of, Paul's name information.
Are you talking about moving forward with street signage? as
I
well
believe
with that?
that's just whatever the covenants that's in the current,
It'd be the same
just
covenant.
the same, extended on
Well,
into this
obviously we
space.
change whatever names need to be
Right.
changed where,
Right.
yeah, it'd be the same.
And you'll need to record that with
Everything's
your,
the same as the previous building.
with your plat. I suppose you do that at the same time you record the plat. Have you recorded the plat yet? You haven't, have you? Because you haven't got approved yet.
Yeah, we haven't gotten approval, so we haven't moved forward with that.
Is this something we should wait till it's approved?
But now I think we have to do what we're gonna do, and then, I mean, we can put conditions, we can prove that, we can approve this, what I understand, contingent to the covenants being filed, we gotta clean, this is the final drawing plan, I believe looks okay. Is that right? And a bond. I think once those three things are met, I think you have to get some sort of permit to start build. You have to get a building permit to start constructing the road. And I don't think that will be issued until these three things are met.
Okay, so they're
So-
applying for a variance to, eliminate the, sidewalks. They're asking for a variance to eliminate streetlights. They're asking for a variance for, changing of the commercial zoning. And then there's a bond issue. So is there any more discussion here on the board concerning those items? Any discussion before we take a vote on it? All those in favor of giving them, allowing them variance according to this document?
Do we need does there need to be a motion on the floor to
Oh, yeah, it has
accept
to be a
them?
motion first, I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion that we accept variance as submitted pending contingent to the covenants being filed. We have the clean and the bond of $100,000 for a permit issued to start constructing new roads.
I'll second.
All those approved?
Aye.
So we've accepted the variance here tonight.
Do we need to make a motion to close the hearing or
Is
close
there any more
adjourn the
discussion about
meeting?
this? Anyone have any other questions? Can I get a motion to close the meeting?
This gentleman.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see.
So, about the entrance, Dimension and Aston, is who would do that? How would we go about doing that done? At the entrance?
If you allow me to answer this. My name is Fred Farley. I'm the president of the town council. This is a planning commission meeting. The light that you're making reference to will need to be addressed through the town council. That will be a town council decision, and that's something that we can look at. And, you know, I'm very hopeful that that can happen. Okay? I think, property owners out there, I mean, you come to us with a valid concern. That's a life safety issue. It really is. And, you know, I set up here 2 meetings a month, and, I don't always see things like that. And, you know, when you folks bring things to our attention, we need to address that. So I will address that at our next meeting, which will start here in about 16 minutes.
Do we-
I need a motion to close the meeting.
I'll move that we close this planning commission meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Hey, I appreciate everybody coming out, putting your input. It makes our job a lot easier too.